Hey, what's up, guys? This is something that I've always wanted to share, but I've never really gotten the time to gather my thoughts and sit down and write this down because it's something that I've always been very shy to talk about. Firstly, it's because I failed, the business failed, but it's not something that we can do at this point of time, but more to what we can learn from it, right? So what I want to talk about today is back in 2018, I co-founded Young Masters, a restaurant and bar with a bunch of friends. We've built the bar from scratch, and honestly, it was one of the best times of my life. Running the business, hosting my friends, making new ones. Weekends were always packed, and weekdays we used to have a normal crowd. And I was in charge of marketing and partnerships, which I handled social media, collaborations, events, you name it. Sometimes I really miss those days. I miss the whole experience of running a business. I often get a rush of dopamine when my customers tell me, hey, Young Masters is so fun, like, it's the best bar. It's always a good time here, and that really warms my heart. One huge lesson that I learned from this whole experience was managing finances. And we were always, at the time, upgrading the bar, both interior and exterior, as well as curating and investing in new drinks. At one point, we even hired a bartender, but that wasn't even making us money because it didn't really make sense with our crowd. They preferred tower drinks like the soju tower and the kombucha tower with soju and kombucha inside. And at the time, I was really just a yes man, always excited to try new ideas. But looking back, there's nothing to regret because if we knew it all, things would have turned out much more differently, right? And another lesson learned was trust. While trusting your partners is one thing, but in a company, transparency is just as important. I was the most rookie person in the whole group. It was my first business venture, and all I wanted was just to learn and just say yes. Can it make money? Yes. Okay, let's do it. Can this bring in crowd? Maybe. Okay, fine, let's do it. Let's try. But we also needed to be realistic. Whether money spent was a net positive or negative ROI, sometimes it looked positive, but it was actually negative. So you have to be careful when it comes to making decisions. And I would say we were taking a lot of risks at the time, which turned out to be some were good, some were bad in terms of the outcome. But yeah, personally wise, I feel this whole experience shaped me in ways that I didn't expect. I learned resilience, I've learned risk-taking, and the value of strong relationships. I have no bad blood with any of my ex-partners. I respect them a lot even up to today because of the way they trusted me to run the show. We were hungry to make it, like really hungry to make it. We really want to make that place the most happening place in TTDI. And it was really, there was so much life to it. Like whenever people think of Young Masters, they thought of me and a few of our partners. And we were really just carrying the brands, and it was something really close to my heart. I'm so attached, right? But yeah, this was just a mutual journey for all of us. Even though it ended, I met a lot of amazing people along the way, and I still feel that spark of entrepreneurship. Like, it doesn't end here. Some people ask me if I would get into F&B again. Most probably not, but I would probably do something else soon. And financially, I took a personal loan through my dad and continued paying it off even after a few years after the business closed. It was like carrying a rock behind you. The business closed is not generating you money, but you're still carrying the debt. So when I finally made the payment, my final payment this year, the relief was crazy. Like, it felt like a bag of stones just lifted off my shoulders. It was a price that I had to pay for being so curious and optimistic. I remember when I approached my dad, I was like, "Wow, I really want to run this business. I really want to do this business." And my dad always tell me at the time, he's like, "You sure or not? You sure or not? This is like, you don't even know who you're getting in business with." And I'm like, sure. When you met them? At the bar. You see? I'm like, but can do one. Can make money one. So, that was the price that I had to pay for being so curious and telling my dad yes. And my dad eventually, he's like, okay go and try. So I was like, yeah, reality was very different from what I had imagined at the beginning. And as they say, you either earn or you learn, right? So this was a mindset shift after a while. Like, failure felt like a huge part of me for a long time after we closed down. Young Masters had consumed so much of my time and energy, but I realized that it wasn't the end of the world. Life is about trying, failing, learning, failing again, trying again, and then failing again, and try again. Some people live one life, some people live 10, and some people live 1,000 lives in one life. It's about not holding on to the past, but moving forward to find the next thing that gives you purpose and fulfillment. That's what I believe and what I can take away from this. If I could start over, I'll be more strategic with my spending for the company. I would take more calculated risks. I think saying no is equally as powerful as saying yes. I would implement weekly reviews to check on performance, revenue, profits. And back then, we ran mostly on trust. We trust each other a lot. And the numbers only became clear to us after a while. So I think weekly town halls would have been helpful for us to help to hold each other accountable and maybe avoid making more wrong decisions. So yeah, today these lessons fuel my drive. I have a hunger to keep pushing. I think that explains with all my posts and all my motivational reels and talks and whatsoever. Is because I'm really, if not now, then when, right? Now is literally the best time to start over was literally yesterday, and the second best time is now. So I'm always having this at the back of my head where every day is a day to be 1% better. So yeah, I have the hunger to keep pushing, to keep exploring, and to keep creating. The job is not done, and I'm ready to keep moving forward until I find what truly sticks to me and what brings purpose to me. So yeah, just wanted to share this today, and if you are still listening, thanks, and I hope you can take away some lessons from this. Yeah, till the next one. Thank you so much. See you guys.